Good morning. This is early morning coffee with Victoria. I haven't had coffee with you guys in a while. That's because the majority of the time, it feels like it's down here. The majority of the time I'm trying to get going and I just get into the vehicle and start working. So I normally have my coffee with me, but I don't know. Things changed up for whatever reason. Today's topic is going to be in reference to twin flames. So I have our cards ready. We will be using the romance oracle cards, romance angel oracle cards this morning. Yeah, like I said, early morning. That means rolling out of bed and getting coffee. Thank you so much for being here. For those that have never been here before, you are so welcome. We have our tarot, we have our travel, and we have our talks. So if the tarot doesn't interest you, then perhaps the talks will. For those coming back, my beautiful family, I decided since I rolled out of bed and had, night clothes on, I was going to put on my shirt that I haven't worn since 2009. Believe it or not, this was the shirt that I had made with this transfer, right? Iron transfer that I had them make with the logo on my back from my old metaphysical shop that I had. And I don't know, this was the first thing I grabbed. I was like, I've been saying I want to wear it, but you guys know that for right now, mostly I work outdoors, so I do wear black every day, but this is just probably a little bit too hot. So anyway, I just felt a little nostalgic and thought I'd put it on. Thank you so much for returning, my beautiful babies. I'm grateful, Libra, my Libra family that is here. Thank you so much for subscribing, for hitting the like button. I always tell people, please do that on the way in, because if you're like me, you get going, life takes you, here's and there's. It's amazing. This is the first time since I moved back from San Antonio. I'm gonna disclaim in a little bit, and that I've used a cup. I normally have my Starbucks big old cup, and I need to replace it. I've had that for 2020. I've had it for 4 years, and it's beautiful. It's my bronzy looking, like a rose colored type of a cup that I have from Starbucks. And then I've been using another one that's green, lime green, and it just wakes me up because of the colors. But this is the first time that I've been able to literally sit down and use a coffee cup from my own home. So this is freaky because I'm not used to holding, the cup anymore, the ceramic cup. I'm used to just taking the coffee, making it, and going. So please forgive me, but yeah, I'm gonna finish the little bit. Then I wanted to also welcome the cross watchers, because for me, this channel in particular is for everyone, of course, that has manners and doesn't come in and call me names or say stupid things like that one person that called me an Egyptian and to go back to Egypt. But honestly, if I could go back to Egypt, I would, but I'm not from Egypt. So that was kind of silly, and bigotry is just, it's got no place on this channel. But nonetheless, I do curse. I'm a human being, or I'm having a human experience anyway, and so I do curse. So please forgive me if it's not something that is attractive to you, and you don't like people to curse at all. This is not your channel, and it's okay. There's thousands upon thousands, I'm sure hundreds of thousands of YouTube channels, and I'm sure that you can find one that doesn't curse. We talk a lot about God because I do believe in God Almighty, my creator. I call him the great engineer. Of course, I talk about Jesus all the time. Source is what I call him. And of course, the Holy Spirit, and along with the archangels of light, and not the dark ones, because I don't work with them. But we're going to use this deck today, and it's gonna be a combination of a reading, right? So we're gonna use the tarot, this particular oracle deck for the reading, to see if spirit can give us some insight. Excuse me for getting so close, up and personal. I think I'm gonna also use the Soul's Journey along with it. Okay, this is from James Van Prague. He has since passed. He was a psychic medium as well. So I'll use these two decks and see what Spirit tells us, what Spirit can talk to us about. This is unfiltered me, no coffee, no coffee yet, drinking coffee, no makeup, and rolling out of bed. And I like to keep it real. Sometimes you're gonna see me with makeup and you've never even seen me with dress clothes on or anything as of yet on this channel, but I don't feel like the time has come yet. So, oh, also I'm gonna disclaim something before we get started. Because for right now the YouTube channel is a very baby channel and I'm working towards making it, of course, growing it, right? But as we know, time stands for no man, waits for no man or woman, and bills keep coming. And that's why I have started to put my my Cash App information into the description. If you guys want to really, if you guys want to I'm guessing we already have our cards. If you guys want to donate to the channel, that would be great. Also, I'm going to try to make some funds because I've been here for, it's going on 2 months. The end of this month will be 2 months, and I was hoping to be here to start a new business that has nothing to do with my YouTube channel, and it hasn't panned out. And meanwhile, the bills keep coming. This is my passion. If I could do this all day long, every day of the week, I would love to do this again like I used to. Because at one time, since I did have metaphysical shops, that was what was supporting me. That was how I got paid. But for right now, I feel like have you ever felt like you feel that you need to do something, so you go off and do it, but then it doesn't pan out? Sometimes that happens because, as I told my best friend, when I started thinking about doing certain things here in San Antonio, I thought, well, it's going to support me and it's going to help other people. So I jumped on it and I got in the vehicle and I drove 2,000 miles back home to help people. And God has not opened those doors. I'm sharing all of that to say that sometimes if it's your vision, if it's your dream, and God doesn't have anything to do with it, even though it seems like a great idea and it would help others, it's not going to happen. So I may have to get in my vehicle and make the trek again back to New Hampshire, where I had more opportunities and where there's a better way of life, a much better way of life. So I will know closer as this week draws to an end. I will know more whether that's going to be happening. If that's going to be happening, again, I apologize. I know we're here for tarot. If that's going to be happening, then more than ever, I ask of you to be generous if you can without hurting your own pockets, even if it's $5, $10 to the Cash App, etc., to help me make the trek back home. Because honestly, since I've come here, I told my best friend without trying to hurt her, I said, you know, as soon as I hit the city limits, I felt like, oh my God, what the hell did I do? What did I do? It's been such a culture shock to come back to San Antonio, Texas. Please, if you have delicate ears, forgive me. It has felt like they raped my city. Like the people that kept coming, because San Antonio, Texas is 3 hours from the border, from the Mexican border. And it's unrecognizable. And even people like my laundry lady, where I go do laundry, because the unit is so small I live in that it doesn't have any facilities, of course, or machinery. And even her, because I used to go to that laundromat before I even left, I said, I don't recognize anyone. And she said, I know, it's scary. So I may end up having to go back home, where I now know that that is where I'm meant to be. And so if you guys want to donate, if you find it in your heart to donate to the channel so I can make the trek back home, because believe it or not, it takes about $1,000 to go back home without a trailer, without anything, just the gas money, because it's 2,000 miles. And as y'all know, gas fluctuates from being low to high, or I can't say low, moderate to high. I don't know why he's fluctuating the things the way he is, but he is. So, okay. Thank you so much for listening to me. It wasn't a rambling, it was a disclosure. I most likely will be going back home. Yeah, I know I don't belong here anymore. And that's okay. Let's go on with our talk and our journey concerning twin flames. Okay, so as y'all saw, Spirit literally threw out the cards at me. And so we're going to take a look to see what that is. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to take these, but I have a feeling... Wow. I got a feeling that I'm going to have to throw some more, because this one is very specific. Okay? So I'm going to throw 2. Spirit, can I have another... I'm going to move these over so I can throw down a second layer. Spirit, can I please have another layer, one that is not so specific, because this one is for certain individuals out there, and we need another layer that's going to tell us a different story. Okay, fine. All right. Thank you, Spirit. A lot different. A lot different. A lot different. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. You're awesome. Okay. Okay, guys. So the first scenario that it's giving me, and I'm saying scenario because it looks like, whew, let me see. I want to hold on to this. It looks like, okay, half of the Libra collective may be experiencing this with their twin flame. It says, let go and let friends help you. Okay? Let go and let friends help you. Like I said, guys, when I haven't had my coffee yet, I stumble over my words. And then when I haven't had any water, I do also. And this coffee doesn't do anything. I think I need like an espresso shot, to be honest. So when it's telling us, okay, for example, when it is telling us to let our friends help us, sometimes it's a good thing to allow your friends to help you with your romance situations. I'm going to give you a good example of when it is. If they know you've been struggling with your twin flame, and your twin flame just isn't providing you the love, the understanding, the relationship you need, and if they know somebody that's a good person, a good fit for you, then it would behoove you to allow them to help you by hooking you up, meaning date-wise, with someone. Other than that, yeah, it's okay for friends to help us get over people, especially a twin flame is going to be a lot harder to get over, but it would be okay to help, to accept the help, so long as it's, like, let's say coming around you, spending time with you, and I'm talking about your friend, spending time with you and trying to help you to get over the heartache, the pain, suffering. When is it not okay to allow friends or even family to get involved with your relationships when they're Debbie Downers about the relationship, when they're always telling you that's not your person, when they're always telling you, what were you thinking? Why did you get involved? Or why would you want to be with that person? That's none of their business. Unless you're that type of friend too that gets in their business like that. But if you're not, and that person's constantly telling you, what to do in relationships and who you should and shouldn't be with, that's actually not a good friend. That's a nosy Josie, as we call them here in Texas. That's a nosy Josie. That's someone who just wants to be up in your business all the time, and may or may not want you to be with this person. And that might also be leading to situational issues between you and your twin flame, because people like to stick their nose where it doesn't belong. So be careful with that. Again, there's a time for a friend to be involved in your love life, and there's hands off from family and friends, because it's like I always say, and again, I curse, guys, I curse. You know, I'm so sorry if you don't like it. This is what I always say about friends and family. You're not gonna sleep with them. And you know what I'm talking about. You're not gonna sleep with them. You're not gonna lay in bed with them. You're not gonna satisfy them, nor are you gonna satisfy me. I told my best friend this, I think it was 2018. I loved my best friend, by the way. My best friend, before she passed away, we were best friends for 15 years, and we only fought 2 times. Once was because her daughter got a hold of her phone and kept calling me, which is very rude. Your children need to still be children and know their boundaries. And the second time was, it wasn't even a fight, but she was crying and telling me that I left her behind, and that, you know, because I had started dating someone, and I had started dating someone in 2015. By that time, it was already a full-blown relationship, and she was upset and saying that I left her behind. And I pointed that out to her, and I told her, look, if you remarry, I'm not in bed with you. I'm not there to give you that warmth. I'm not gay. We're not gay. We're straight. I love you. You're my sister, but you're never going to give me the warmth that I can get from a man, because it's just not the same. That's a sexual, affectionate romance, and ours is a sisterly bond, and that's never going to be broken. And I hope you understand that. So family can get involved, and yeah, she was like my family. She was like my baby sister, maybe a friend, but for me, she was the baby sister I never had and I always wanted. So family can get involved and try to come between you and your twin flame. Don't allow that to happen. So I put her in her place, and you know, it's something I had no choice but to do. But family and friends will get involved in the wrong way and try to pull you away from your twin flame. And the reasons can vary. Maybe they don't think you make enough money. Maybe they don't think you're cute enough. Maybe they don't think you're beautiful enough. Maybe they don't think you're smart enough. Maybe you don't come from the right caste or category of, you know, class. Like maybe they think you're a second-class citizen, or maybe they think you're poor and impoverished, and you couldn't possibly be with their friend who maybe makes more money than you do. I mean, it could be they could even want to be with you. I mean, there's so many reasons why family and friends can be do the opposite effect instead of helping. So be careful. Be careful. It does, in this instance, this group of Libra collective that I'm talking about, it looks like you guys need to, with your twin flame, you need to have a getaway. You need to take time to be together and go off and just have your own retreat. Go off and actually be together with nobody else around and just enjoy each other's company. That's what this particular set of Libras is being asked to do. Now, whether you're going to do that or whether you can do that or not, that's going to be up to you. It says it's time to disconnect from the world. So again, I always tell people to learn your partner. I know that sounds stupid, like people are probably thinking in their head something like, well, it's not a school. But yeah, it is. Actually, it is. Every part of being on earth is a school. If you want to actually have a good, solid, healthy relationship with someone and you don't know them, how do you think that's a possibility? It's not. It's not a possibility. So you actually have to take time. Both parties have to take the time to spend that time with each other in order for you to cement, to start feeling the level of comfort, to start knowing the do's and don'ts, the likes, the dislikes of the other person, and how they're going to treat you in public and how you should be treated in public. And what is this? I'm not going to call it what other tarot readers call it, but what are we doing? Is this a full-blown relationship, or are we just doing a dance of romance and that's as far as it's going to get? And do I want that? Am I okay with that, right? You're not going to know any of that unless you both make time to have together away from the world and not, come on. Nowadays, everybody just wants a sex thing. You're not going to get very far in knowing your person if you're just strictly always having sex. Every time you come together, all you do is sex. How can you know the person? Yeah, you're going to know what they like in bed. Whoop-de-doo. That's only like a fourth of it. What about how they think? What about their belief system? What about their political beliefs? What about their faith? What about their religion? What about their, thoughts on children? What about their thoughts on family? What about their thoughts about being a homeowner? I could go on and on and on. Do they like dogs? Do they like pets? What kind of pets do they like? Did they have pets as a child? You have to know all these things before you get into a relationship, not afterwards. Oh, okay, gee, I didn't know you were like that. I didn't know you have a mental illness. I didn't know you have a health issue, and maybe that's a deal breaker for me. Like, let's say you have, I don't know, diabetes, not even type 1, not even type 2, type 1, and you have to give yourself insulin all the time, and you're a man. Sorry to be blatant here. Disclaimer, I'm very real. And sometimes diabetes, the way it affects a man, it affects his, and he has to literally give himself a shot there sometimes. Are you okay with that? With a female? Maybe she has dentures. I don't know. I'm just making things up on the fly. Are you okay with that? So again, you got to learn each other. You can't just expect everything to fall into place. Sometimes it does, miraculously, but that's once in a blue moon. If you don't learn each other, you're not going to know each other. And that's just common sense, guys. It looks like, why I said I wanted a separate layer, because it looks like this twin flame batch, this set of Libras as a collective, may have one or the other. Either the Libra collective or the cross watcher, the twin flame, has to release someone. For this to go forward, somebody has to be released. So there's a third party in this relationship, guys. For the Libras that I'm talking to, there may be a third party that I'm picking up on here. It says the time has come to clear your energy. So sometimes, even though there are twin flames, maybe they just came into our life to teach us something. Maybe they just came into our life for us to meet them. Maybe they just came into our life to activate us, meaning Kundalini. Maybe they just came into our life to show us, for God to show us that, yeah, you can have a profound love for someone. This is saying there's a deception. So some of you know that there is a third party, and some of you may not know. Some may have someone that is their twin flame who is literally wearing a false mask, meaning they don't behave like who they really are. And that's why I say you've got to learn who your person is. You can't just expect to know this person just because you've had a past life with them. That's not the way it works all the time. You can know some things because you can have a remembering, a recollection of your life with the person. But that doesn't mean you're going to know them completely. When it happened to me, the first time they showed me a glimpse of my twin flame was in I think it was 2017, when they showed me his face. I ended up being confused and ended up marrying somebody that it didn't work out with, but they were from the same country, which is really amazing for me, because the person that I ended up marrying was pursuing me hot and heavy, and I ended up marrying him, but he wasn't who I was supposed to be with, because they showed me the face of the person. And being that I am someone who sees visions, when this happened, I got confused, and I thought they were telling me that this was my past twin flame, my soulmate, I interchanged those words, guys. And so I got confused and I married that one. Meanwhile, 2020, I ended up, right before coming back from Colorado, I ended up meeting my twin soul. But my twin soul happened to be married, and he was in separation when I met him. And he decided to stay in his marriage. Which, again, we're having this conversation because sometimes that happens. They're already with a muggle, as I call them. They're already with somebody. Maybe they're happily married even in some occasions. And then they have that extreme connection with you wherever they happen to meet you out in the world. And then it becomes very muddied and confused because they feel like there's something there that they can't quite put their finger on because maybe they don't understand or they don't believe in past lives. They don't remember the connection. They don't remember the contract they made with you, soul contract they made with you prior to incarnating here on earth. So maybe part of why they're here is to have that connection and to experience that connection. Before y'all write something negative in the comments, let me explain myself. Okay, let me finish this and then I'll explain myself. So this is telling me that there are some of our Libra collective here today that are experiencing unrequited love. Again, that can be because I see there's a third party. The third party could be the husband or wife of your twin flame in this lifetime. Oh my goodness. Why is it okay for them to be married? I know that's going to sound ugly to your ears. Trust me. I disclose everything that I'm disclosing about my twin flame because I'm in here too. And this top layer is a lot of what I went through, the unrequited, okay? Why is it okay that they are experiencing a marriage that's not with you? Well, that is very simple. Very, very simple. Because when you come into their life, there's going to start to be comparisons. Whether you like it or not, whether they like it or not. Whether you like it or not, whether they like it or not, there will be comparisons. So in their head, they're going to start comparing you with the current person that they're connected to legally. And the reason is because there's no comparison. When they come into any kind of companionship with you, if they do get to have sex with you or be around you, they're going to automatically see that there's a huge discrepancy. There's a huge difference between, I'm going to say it in a funny way, between this product and this product. And the reason that they see it is because one feels really good. It's easy to be around all the time. It feels like home is what I felt like. It feels like home. It feels like a glove on your hand that fits just right. There's little to no arguing. And even when you get upset at each other, you cannot remain angry. It's just not a possibility, because it is believed that before you incarnate here, you have half of the soul is put into you, half of the soul is put into him. So when you come down, and it may be at different times, because it is thought that for the most part, the female is always, for the most part, the female is older than the male. Don't know why God made it that way. Don't know why, but that's the way it is, the majority. You can research on your own. I always tell people, don't believe me. Always do your research, okay? I'm just here as the vessel. So they allow them to have all of that because they wanted it. They wanted it. The circumstances were there. They wanted it, so they got married. But when they come together with you, male or female, twin flame comes together with you, they start to see the cracks in the walls. That marriage isn't ideal. The marriage isn't that great. Or even if they thought they were happily married before they met you, their twin flame, now they see what they had been missing, that they didn't even at times realize was missing. So you're there to activate them. You come into their life to activate them spiritually, to even at times to heal their past childhood wounds, traumas, or even traumas from past relationships if they let you. If they let you. If they let you in fully, then they will let go of that other relationship. They will let go of it, and the deception can stop, because now they don't have to be lying to anybody, because now they're with their person that they want to be with, and it's no longer an unrequited love, because now they're free to be with who they want to be with, and they don't have to lie. And you know, the thing about lies, and I'm not a good liar, I'm going to tell you that right now, because it's not something I practice. So I can imagine me having to go back to somebody and saying where I was and what I did for the day and blah blah blah, and then I forget. So that's the problem with having third parties, is that you always have to lie, you always have to tell somebody some half truths to get away with it. That's so not necessary. But again, for this particular set of twin flames that I'm talking about right now, they may not ever leave the third party, the karmic. We call it the karmic because they have something to learn from that person. If that person's good to them, but there's no love or there's no happiness, then they're there to learn the difference between profound love and just normal everyday existence with someone. And if they're having issues at home where there's a lot of fighting, and then this one is what I call squishy love, it's simple, it's easy, and it just gets more intensified each and every encounter, and through the years they also are learning from that as to what a real love should feel like. Okay, so you're teaching your partner something. You're here to teach your partner something. Yeah, I won't go further into my personals, but yeah, it's intense, and it's amazing the things that you're willing to put up with for your twin flame, and it can still remain in an unrequited, because they can be confused or continue to want to be deceptive to both you and the third party. So that's up to you whether you want to continue that, or you want to just start healing. And again, that would be when friends would come in to help you heal, to get your mind off of things. The thing with the twin flame is that there will be coming and going, because there's a runner and a chaser. So if you're the chaser and you stop chasing, then the runner will come back. But those dynamics may exist for years. That's up to you. We're gonna get some advice for the unrequited twin flame, and see what James Van Prague recommends, or if there's anything that he could give us information wise or tips. Oh, there's one that's, I didn't even notice that. Freedom. Like I said, so sorry. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. So again, if this is unrequited, remember, it takes two to tango. It takes two to have a relationship, whether a good one or a bad one. It takes two. So if that person doesn't want to be held responsible for being your twin flame, meaning they don't have any desire to be in a relationship, even if they feel the pulling, even if they know that this is otherworldly. Like they can't maybe put their finger on it, but they know there's something here that they've never felt before. It's a sensation they've never had with anybody before. But in order for you to go off and be happy and to be whole again, they're telling you have the power to have freedom, meaning free yourself from this. Free yourself from this. Release your ex. Free yourself from this. If he cannot or she cannot release the marriage that they're already in, then you have to have the power. You have to have the inner strength to move on, to free yourself from this. Because if you don't, it's going to be a circle. If this person that you feel is your twin flame never decides to leave that other relationship, it's just a vicious circle. And you're never going to feel fulfillment in the relationship, because what you want is a full-blown relationship where you live with the person and you exchange energies every day. You break bread with them. You wash clothes together with them. You know, I mean, just the basic everyday things. You dust. Okay, I'm mopping. I'm taking out the trash. I'm doing the dishes. You want that exchange. You want all of this. That's not happening. And this could go on for years and years and years and years. Mine went on for 3 years. So I'm telling you, it's either you cut the tie and you free yourself. That's why James is recommending freedom. Or you're going to be doomed with this kind of unrequited twin flame issue. You're going to be doomed to continue every year. And whoever's out there that would not mind being connected to someone just for the simple idea of being near your twin flame, if that's the way you feel about your twin flame, I'm just a messenger, my love. If you can handle all the ups and downs, treating you like a yo-yo, come near, go away. Come here, go away. Come here, go away. Remember, that's what it feels like, right? When you throw a yo-yo, you throw it out. You don't want it, or you want it to go away from you. And then you want the yo-yo to come back. Come here, go away. Come here, go away. And that's what they're going to treat you like for years and years and years, unless you put a stop to it. Come here, go away. Come here, go away. I can't do it. I can't do it at this age. Maybe if I was 30, maybe if I was 20. I don't know. But now that I have life experience and I'm a mature adult, it even got to the point, and I'm sharing this, and this is the last part that I'll share with you. It even got to the point to where I started feeling, although they were treating me with deception, and although they wouldn't release the person they were with to be in a relationship with me the way I needed it to be, and although it was unrequited, because there was a lot of go away, come here, go away, come here, yo-yo. Do I look like a yo-yo to you guys? I don't think so. I started feeling like I was responsible for him. Like I was his mother of sorts. Like because he carries a part of me in him. Part of my soul is inside of him. So, of course, I'm going to love the person being my twin flame. Of course, I'm going to want the best for him. Of course, I'm going to want him safe. Right? So the issue is, then you start making excuses for them because you want nothing but happiness for them. Whether that's with you or without you, you want him to be happy. You want her to be happy. You just want them to be safe. And you're not going to hate yourself. Part of you is in that person. So, of course, you're going to want to shelter that person because they're part of you. But I had to put an end to it because it was just hurting me. It was hurting me. That twin flame was because of the connection that we had from, making a contract before Creator. That twin flame was getting all their needs met at home and with me. What did I get out of it? That's the issue. That's what I'm bringing to y'all's attention, because it looks like I'm talking to some Libras that have allowed this to go on and on and on. And again, If y'all can come together, you and your twin flame, and spend some alone time, and then they decide to release the person they're with right now to be with you, and in the deception and in the unrequitedness of this relationship, man, that would be ideal, guys. And I would be sitting here like your cheerleader, your best cheerleader and pep squad, and saying, yeah, let's go, how wonderful, and hope to see that in the comments. But if you don't have that kind of relationship with your twin flame, and they never release who they're with, you're doomed to only have half a life, because you're not going out looking for another love, and you're not allowing love to come towards you because you're hooked on your twin flame. And that's a beautiful thing, but again, you're only getting half a life. As I explained several times to my twin flame, you get to have a wife. I don't have a husband. You get to have a family. I don't have one. You get to have a home with this person. I don't have that with you. So you're just living half a life, and that's a very poor existence, but that is your choice because you have free will. I just can't do that. I'd rather know that he exists in the world, and that he's healthy, that he's happy, even if it's with someone else, than for me to put myself through that for 3 more years, 6 more years, 10 more years, 20 more years, 30 more years, until Creator takes me back. And some of y'all may be like, but that's your twin flame. Yes, it is. But he also has the ability to adhere to the contract we made before Creator and say, okay, now I know why that marriage isn't working. Now I know why I'm not happy in the marriage. Now I know why I came together to have kids, because at this age we can't have kids. But that's about it. And now I know I belong with the other person, my twin flame. That person never did that. So because of that, if you're in a similar situation, you're hurting yourself, waiting for things to change, and may never ever change. Or if they change in 30 years from now, I most likely will be with my Creator again. So what? I'm going to be with you for half a day, and then you're going to see me go into my eternal sleep, as they call it, and I will be here no more? Is that what I'm waiting for? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? It's your free will. But if the person cannot adhere, meaning they cannot make good on the contract, they don't want to make good, they don't want to release the person that they're currently with in a marriage or a living together situation, due to family, due to friends, due to the way it looks to the world. They like the way that the other relationship gives them a sense of security in the world, due to children or anything, or just due to again being arrogant and saying, no, you don't have enough money, or you don't have enough clout in life for me. All of those things could be factors. Religion could be a factor. Ethnicity could be a factor. Yes, even in 2024, somebody who's black may not want to be with somebody that's white because it doesn't look right to their family, which is hogwash, but that's their free will. For me, I don't care if you're black, white, purple, or green. Yeah, I said it. I don't care if you're a different religion. The only religions, and I am sorry for those out there that are of these religions, and I'm not saying anything about you in personal. I'm just saying it doesn't jive with my thought patterns and my beliefs. I cannot be with a Satanist. I don't subscribe to that. And I could not be with a Muslim because of the mutilations that happen to the female genitals when they're very young, and also the fact that they take very young brides, and I don't, maybe not on every occasion, but they do, and I can't do that. I can't be okay with that. But as far as people, I don't have nothing against them. But do you understand? So there's deal breakers even on their side. Why do I say deal breakers? Because they may not want to give up their life for you, even though you're their damn twin flame, and you've waited and waited on this earth to find them, and you've had bad relationships too. They've not worked out, and now you understand why, because you were not supposed to be with those other people. This squishy feeling that you have with this person is because they are in fact your twin flame. And you could live out the rest of your life knowing that from here on out, from this day forward, that you could have the most beautiful lifetime with them. The remainder of your life, it could be beautiful and peaceful and loving and kindness and just like your best friend, because you love being in the presence. But again, if they're not willing to release the person, the muggle they're with, then you're just going to be in an unrequited love, or worse, you're in a triangle. And I put myself into that situation in a twin flame. And I thought that the separation was going to continue and that he was going to go towards the divorce. He decided to go back to the muggle. And that's his choice. Still, they're still having issues. There's still a lot of issues in that relationship, but they won't release it because probably it looks good to the outer world. I don't know. Why? Because they never let me learn them. So again, that's why I'm always pushing, even on regular readings, I push you guys to learn your mate. Learn them. What do they like? What do they do not like? Are they open with you? Why? Do they always have walls up? Do you ask simple questions and all of a sudden their walls go up? I mean, it's so silly. Why can you not know what their exercise regime is? Why can you not know what kind of shows they like? Those are everyday basic things that shouldn't make people's feathers be ruffled. It's ridiculous. So know your people that you're having a twin flame experience with, and if they don't want you in, then that tells you a lot. That may be your twin flame, but that may be when you need to release. You need the freedom. Why? Because it's not going to go anywhere, honey, and you're just going to keep hurting yourself. For me, again, disclosure, this is just my opinion. For me, when it happened to me, this is what I said to Creator. I knew he belonged in this world somewhere with me. I knew that he was in this world with me. Thank you so much, Creator, for allowing me to meet him. I may not be able to live my life out with him, but thank you so much that I got to meet him in this lifetime. At the very least, I know that I'm not crazy, and I know that I always had a sensation that somebody, the right somebody, was out there for me, and now I have that gratitude towards you that you at least allowed me to meet him. And the most extraordinary thing is, your twin flame may not be of your ethnicity. They may not even be, if you're in America, they may not be American. If you're British, they may not be British. If you're from South America, they may not be. If you're Canadian, they may not be. You know what I'm saying? They may be a totally different nationality or totally different ethnicity, totally different religion. And it's just that way. They may not be an exact match. For me, it was extraordinary because, as y'all know, my background is I am part Gypsy, a Spanish Gypsy from my dad's side. As I did my research, come to find, and I've been researching off and on since 2017 was when I really got into wanting to know what Gypsy was and everything. And it's actually Romany. It's not Gypsy, but I call that Gypsy because that's what it's, my ethnicity is known more as. When I say Romany, people go, oh, you're from Romania? No. Nonetheless, I found out that my ancestry, via my father's side, my grandparents, came from North India, from the Punjab region, and that the Kalo, as they call it, the actual language of the Gypsies, that is very similar to Hindi. Okay? All right. I'm setting this up so you can understand how spirit works. How spirit works. So, my ancestors came out of India approximately 1,000 years ago, right? And then migrated to Spain. And then my grandparents brought my dad here to San Antonio, Texas at the age of 3 months. So hence, that's why I'm a first generation American, right? From my dad's side. Okay, so again, ties to India. My twin flame came from India, born there. Didn't want to stay there, migrated to America, ended up here in San Antonio, Texas, and doesn't really care too much to go back to India. When I went to India and I got to travel, I felt so at home. I loved all the colors, everything. My senses were so alive. It was so beautiful. So for us, there's a religion difference. There's which is ironic because I subscribe more towards spirituality in general, hence Hinduism, and he's Christian. He came from India, but he's Christian. He's my old religion, which is Christianity. And I subscribe more towards philosophies and things of that nature. So I'm more geared towards Hinduism because I believe God is everything and everywhere. So do you understand what I'm saying? Twin flames can differ. They don't necessarily all come from the same place. Could I have been Indian also? Of course I could have. God could have made it that easy. But my belief in my situation is that God transposed, meaning he came from India. I wanted to be American. I'm American and I want to know everything about India because we had to know what each other's path was like. Does that make sense? There had to be a similarity, a tie. And our tie is India. Believe it or not, our tie is India. And my people, most of the time, they look exactly like him, you know, from India. And when I went to go visit, a fort near Hyderabad. And it was so funny because when I was there, you had to show your passport or whatever. Well, it was back in the room. I didn't realize I needed it. And the man took one look at me and he goes, North India, go through. And I just started laughing because people from India come in all colors. Just like here, Latin people are black, they're white, they're brown, they're tan, or they're light like me. I used to be a lot lighter, but this is years and years of being tanned. But yeah, that's the irony, is that he came from India and my ancestors came out of India for whatever reason, leaving it. And that's the connection, is India. I don't even think he realizes there's a connection there, and that I'm just as much Indian as he is. But yeah, there's so many do's and don'ts about our relationship that are taboo, and that may happen to you. It may happen to you that you may have a lot of taboos in your relationship with your twin flame. Specifically one, that they may not want to release their ex because, or their partner that they're currently with, because of religion or because of family upbringing, etc. Yeah, there could be a great many things that you're battling. So my heart goes out to you. I can smile and laugh about it right now, but I can tell you that if you're going through this, it's probably the worst pain you're going to experience. It's worse than any puppy love. It's worse than any divorce that you go through, because you're having to let go of a part of yourself, and you have to, if you're smart and you free yourself, you have to be happy with just the simple knowledge that they're in the world with you. And that's about all you can do. Okay, I'm going on to the next, because we've already been here almost an hour talking about the twin flame that cannot be had. And I'm going to put these together over here so we can buy into this new energy and not have this old energy continue to draw my attention, okay? Or my energy, because now it's the other twin flames. So on this set of twin flames that I'm talking to today, my other part of my Libra collective, or anybody that happens upon this video, my new people, welcome. Calling in your soulmate. Calling in your soulmate. Why I love the fact that this card in particular came out today is because it's my belief, since we're going towards the time of the dawning of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius coming in, a lot of twin flames will be hearing the call. Will be hearing the call of their significant other, their true significant other, because you have to understand, people, if you're into metaphysics, if you're into nothing but psychology and this, 3D world, and not 5D and above, you're never going to get it. So I'm not talking to those folks. I'm talking to the folks that believe in metaphysics, that believe in supernatural, that believe in spirituality. Right now, at this time, more than ever, twin flames are coming together. They hear the call. If you could imagine something like a trumpet even, but they're hearing the inner calling and the inner pulling to start looking for their twin flames. So for those that are actually on the journey to find their twin flames, so happy for you. You're not going to be disappointed. You're not. You're not. It is the most easy and simple relationship you will ever experience. Yes, you still have anger. You still have, arguing, bickering. You still have bills that need to get paid. You still have life situations that come up. But it's not like your ordinary everyday life. It is so much easier to get through situations with your twin flame, because by the time that you know it, when you come together, you're going to be of one mind, meaning decisions will be easier to be made. You won't have as much pushback. You won't have people arguing repetitively about the same thing, because I know, like when I was with my twin flame, when we did come together, even if I was upset with him in reference to something, I couldn't stay angry with him for whatever reasons. All I wanted to do was be happy in his presence. All I wanted to do was share time. So because of that, for your twin flame, sorry, the fan is blowing my hair in my face. Because of that, the majority of people that are going to be coming into connection with their twin flame, oh my gosh, you're in for, I hate to say treat, but you're in for a whole different type of relationship. If you've had relationships in the past, marriages in the past, forgive yourself for those things that didn't work out because they were never meant to. You're supposed to be having that pulling towards your twin flame. So how can you meet your twin flame? Your twin flame is already looking for you. You're looking for them, meaning energetic wise, right? You're looking for that signature. So when you do meet them, it could be at a grocery store. It could be, I don't know, at a store. It could be at a church. It could be at a park. It could be at a movie theater. It could be anywhere where you walk, where you jog, your gym. It could be anywhere. But you'll know them. Because when you start dating them and you start being in their presence, it's going to be the squishiest love you've ever encountered. This is a love that you don't even have to talk if you don't want to. Like, for example, and I'm not trying to get sexual, but even there, you won't have to be wondering what the other person likes or doesn't like. It'll just kind of happen naturally that both people just express that towards each other without having to be asked, are you okay with this? Are you not okay with that? What do you like? Except you won't even have to talk about it. You won't even have to talk about where you want to live or anything like that, because it'll just happen. Things, synchronicities will just continue to happen with your twin flame. I'm not trying to glorify this, guys. I'm not trying to, like they do in Hollywood, glamorize it. I'm telling you what I tell everyone. Research, 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 research. Don't take my word for it. I'm a tarot reader in this lifetime. That's what I'm doing. I'm a vessel. I'm an oracle. This is your life. You know you're in a twin flame connection, or you have an inkling that there's someone out there that's so special and it's made just for you. Start your research. Don't be lazy. Don't be a lazy lover. I cannot stand lazy lovers. Oh my God, I cannot stand lazy lovers. I can't do it. Why? Because you can't expect people to do all the work for you. You just can't. You can't just show up in people's lives and then disappear again. No. Get your hands in the dirt. Get your hands dirty. And if you're already around someone who you suspect maybe your twin flame, maybe they are. Do your research, guys and gals. Okay? But that's how you'll know that there's no contradictions, like if they're not married. We already went over the married twin flame, which is a hot mess, and I hope that the majority out there listening to this video are not in that scenario, because that is so freaking painful. Why don't you just make me sit on needles? Why don't you just have me sit on daggers? It would be more comfortable. Okay? So again, don't worry about the do's and don'ts and all of this with this particular type of relationship, because it's not the same. It's not. It's just not the same kind of twin flame experience at all. So what you're going to experience instead is, I apologize because I was watching something, so it just doesn't want to do what I want it to do. It's too early in the morning for the computer to do what I want it to do, I guess. Oh well. As I was saying, it's completely different. The sensations are the same. The feelings of love and euphoria are the same. And as I expressed, when I first met my twin flame, it almost felt like a puppy love because it was so beautiful and intense. The first time that I had to separate from him, I felt, man, I couldn't stop crying because I felt like a part of me had gone away. I don't even think that I knew that at the time. But now looking back, I think the reason I was crying, I was mourning the loss or the separation, was because it felt like my best friend, like my twin, like as if I had a twin. It felt like part of me had gone away. So when he came back, it just felt like, oh my God, I get my twin back, you know? I get my bestie back. That's how good the relationship feels. So for those that will never experience the twin flame, I'm sorry. I really am. Maybe it just wasn't in the cards for you this lifetime around, or maybe you just were not brought into this mission or this lifetime to incarnate to experience a twin flame. The way God allowed me to experience it was because God knew as a light worker. Sorry, I have an itch. God knew as a light worker, they're being called chosen ones right now, that this was going to be the hardest incarnations thus far that I would have. And knowing how things were going to end up, which is that, believe it or not, I'm estranged from every person in my family because they were just birth people, and that's all they were intended to be. That I had to have someone here that was someone I could connect to on a family level. So for me, the remembrance is he was my husband in spiritual form, like where we came from. He was my husband, and in different lifetimes he's been my husband. So that was the deal between Creator and I, was that I would get to have my significant other in this lifetime come down also. So we came as a pair, even though I came down first. So that's why the pulling is so strong, because you know that you've been with them before. You've been husband and wife. You've been lovers. You've been something in another lifetime. So for me, for us, it's been at least 3 different that I can remember lifetimes. And then, of course, as a spiritual being that had, I know it's hard for me to describe, but as a spiritual being having no body, because the other lifetimes, these are called holograms. Again, I believe very much in spirituality. That's why I call myself a pagan Christian, because if I totally call myself a Christian and start giving y'all all these examples, what's the first thing that's going to happen? Well, that's heresy, blah, blah, blah. They're not Christian. You're right. I'm not fully Christian. That's a made-up word by humans. Source, creator, the great I am, the engineer, doesn't have those names. That's a name we gave them when they came down to the earth. But I'm not here to argue with anybody's religion. That's your religion, and I respect it. I'm just partaking in conversation and telling you how my religion works and my philosophies work, that I'm able to look at Christ and call him the great I am, call him the Son of God, call him, if you see the Father, you see me. We're one. Do you understand what I'm saying? can look at you and see God in you, because that's the way it should be. Namaste. The God the God in me recognizes the God in you. That's what it really means. So when people just say namaste and end or start, a tarot read or whatever, I have to wonder if they fully understand what they're saying to you, because it's not thank you or you're welcome here. No, it's the God in me chooses to recognize the God in you, at least by what my guru taught me. Okay. All right. The next thing is telling you, and I'm sorry I went off on a tangent, but this is a very intense topic. It's a very intense topic. So again, because the age of Aquarius is coming soon, and for me, we're on the precipice of it. We're already headed that way. We just got to get rid of the muck first. Some of that muck has to go away, and then you're going to start seeing, and I know it's a story for another day, but you're going to start seeing a lot of changes, okay, throughout the world. Okay, they're asking you to flirt. You think that that's your twin flame. You have a sensation when you come near that person. Maybe you haven't formed a particular relationship with that person, but you think that might be the person. One song that comes to mind, and I don't remember the name of the song. Please, somebody in the comments, look it up and write it, okay? But for me, I dedicated this song to my twin flame because it's the only way I could say goodbye and acknowledge the connection to its fullest, without saying too many words, or and that's the other thing, guys. With twin flames, there are no words. No words suffice. It's like as if Shakespeare and all the other greats came together to help you express yourself where your twin flame is concerned, because there's no words to add to such a beautiful experience. So for me, what I shared with him was the song, I don't remember the name of the title of the song, but the lyrics go, I saw an angel, of that I'm sure, and they crossed paths, but she was with someone else. And so it's a man singing. She was with someone else, and all he got was a glimpse of her. But during the time that he glimpsed at her and their eyes locked, he felt, the way he conveys in the song through the lyrics, he felt like he had lived a lifetime. And he felt, the video is so profound. Oh, you guys have to watch it. He felt like a love and a loss, because he met the love of his life in one instance, and through that ride he saw her, or through the interaction he saw her, and they locked eyes, as if she also felt it, and she also knew why they were locking eyes and why they were coming together. But instead of acting on it, like in our first set of Libra collective that are going through their twin flame journey, she just kept going, and he just kept going. And so he, knowing that, was now filled with pain and sorrow, because he saw his twin flame. He saw her. He got to experience that. And that's what it's like. It's so profound, guys. I'm not sitting here. I'm normally every day, I'm a person that tries to be very balanced, that tries to be very commonsensical, that tries to use a lot of prudence and wisdom, because the younger me was full on Libra. I am just a lover. I am not a fighter. I'm a person that loves to love, meaning I love to spread love. But as an adult Libra, I try to be more calm and try to be more commonsensical, laid back, and try to think things out as to why things happen. And that's why I felt like I needed to distance myself, because it was just going to be doomed to be a vicious circle, because of the lack on my twin flames part to want to give up what they have with a muggle and be with me. So again, it's very profound, guys. But in this one, they're asking, okay, if you think that this is your twin flame, You have to show interest, flirt, see where it goes. If you're already with your twin flame, why are you going to stop courting them? Date night, to me, in marriages, in relationships, whether boyfriend, girlfriend, or all the way to husband, wife, you should never stop dating each other. That's why things happen, that things get dry and dull and start breaking apart. Because you should treat your significant other as if you could lose them every single day of your life. So show the expression of love and show that passion towards that lover that you have every single day, so they never want to go away and they never feel unloved. You've got to flirt and you've got to show your expressions of love. Your romantic feelings are real and are worth exploring. I didn't have to read this. Guess why? Because this card kept coming out when he first got so close to me. And again, people, you've got to understand, if your twin flame doesn't get it, it's because they don't know why they're feeling this connection with you that's otherworldly, that feels abnormal to them, because it's intense. Okay? But in this instance, it looks like first you're calling your soulmate, then you're flirting and trying to figure out, that little dance of, yeah, is this my soulmate? Is this not? And they're saying, this is most likely you are with your soulmate, your twin flame. So these romantic feelings are worth exploring. To go for it. I always tell people, what are you waiting for? An invitation? It's like when people are like they're at a crossroads with you, right at stop sign, and you get there secondly and they won't turn or go straight, and I'm like, what are you waiting for? An invitation? I mean, seriously, if you have your twin flame or possible twin flame in front of you, a romance of a lifetime, what are you waiting for? An invitation? They might be just as shy as you. They might be as confused as you in the beginning, but the romantic feelings are worth exploring, because this is probably your twin flame. And what, you're going to let them go? Oh my gosh, don't do that. Don't do that. My twin flame, and I'm sorry, I love him so much, but my twin flame is so earthbound in the 3D, not 5D or above, that he preferred to live a life of constant pain and suffering, making, I guess, a martyr of himself, which I don't see it, because when you choose to stay in a silly relationship that's not working, or should I say, when you're staying in a relationship that obviously is not working for you, it just looks silly. You're not a martyr. You're just hurting yourself. But that's his choice, because the free will, I have no choice but to step back, and I did. You deserve love. You deserve love. Don't we all deserve love? I mean, even as children, right? I had a rough upbringing, but even as children, when you first have your child, when you have a newborn child, if you've experienced being a parent, a female or a male parent, you just want to shelter them. You just want to love on them. And you're just so amazed by that new life. That's the same way that love is in general, much less your twin soul, your twin flame. That love is just unconditional, and it's just so squishy. It's so beautiful. So right now, that it is the time, especially right now, because twin flames were not so known in the past, right? But now they're becoming more and more recognized, that even different magazines are writing about it. Some things are even in the news right now, like, you know that even news stations are talking about Mercury retrograde, and that's amazing for me, because that's a step in the right direction. That's adding metaphysics, astrology, to science as well. We're combining it again. And in those days, like D, right? Dr. D, right? The astrologer, astronomer. In those days, kings, queens, etc., bishops, popes came to people like himself to give the signs, right, from the stars, from the heavenly celestial bodies, to tell them what their life was going to be like, or how things might proceed. Even in war, I think Queen Elizabeth I, would look into you know, what the stars had to say, right? The celestial bodies before going into battle and all. So this type of thing is not new, guys. This is not new. I'm so glad it's being presented back into our lives to where we can start having our mind expand more. And I'm not going off on a tangent. I promise you it all ties in. They say that only the most intelligent beings, meaning the people that have high IQ, the majority is 160. One of my kids had 140 when he was 5. And yeah, he's an asshole. But I love him. He's my asshole. That happens when people are too brainiacs and don't have emotional intelligence. Aries. Love you, Aries. But the point is, we have to use more and more of our brain and our consciousness. So the most people that are using their brain, that are in high intelligence, and for those that speak Spanish, Mensa is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Mensa that people are a part of. It's an organization for people with high IQs. It is thought that we only use 10% of our brains. Even the most highly intelligent beings. And did you know that at one time it was a female that held the ranking? I think she was like 230 or 250 with her IQ. That's amazing. That's unheard of, right? That's amazing. But we've got to expand our brains, expand our horizons. And so if they're bringing metaphysics back in astrology back, astronomy back into our everyday existence, even I think it was CNN that posted it. I think that's wonderful. So I say all that to say, if they can believe in all of that, why would it be so unheard of, right? It would be so unheard of that we could have a twin flame. So again, you deserve love. We all deserve love. There's a love out there, guys. If you haven't met your twin flame, I could still smile because I'm healing from the hurt of the separation. I can still smile. I can still have a smile on my face when I mention him, because it was the most beautiful thing I've experienced thus far as a human, other than having the visitation from who you call Christ. And it is just, it's off the hook, like we used to say. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So again, whatever you're going to do it with well thought out plans. If this is your twin flame and you want to be with them, have you planned for the future? Have you planned for the future? Or are you just going to fly by the seat of your pants and hope it works out? Just because this is your twin flame doesn't mean you don't have to plan. Where's the relationship going? Where do you see it going? Where do you want it to go? But, and I know people say, however, no, this is a but. But, you're not alone. You're not alone. You see her standing in front of him? You're not a one-man show or a one-woman show. This takes two, baby. Me and you. Remember that song? Yeah. There's two people in a relationship of any sort. So it doesn't matter that you just want this. You have to take both people into consideration. Of course, one person has to be the first one to make the move. But after that's established, the relationship is established, and let's say it's, 3-6 months down the line, you have to sit down with each other and ask one the other, where do you see this going? Where would you like for it to go? This is what I think. What do you think? You can't just make decisions for both. It's not the way things work, even in a regular relationship. That's not the way things work. So again, this is a beautiful, squishy relationship I see developing for some of you out there, because it is the time that the dawning of Aquarius will come into play. If you don't know what that is, please do look that up for people that are into astrology and not. Look that up. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful sensation of what's to come. And, as far as that is concerned. And so if this love is worth having, it's you still got to talk. Even though it's my understanding by the way I feel about my twin flame, because even though we're not together, I can still feel him. It's my understanding that there's a huge telepathic connection where I can feel him and he can still feel me. I'm pretty sure. So even with that, you still got to talk to each other, because you've got to come to decisions, right? Where are we going to live? What are we going to do? Still got to have decisions. Oh, okay. Let's see here. This one just jumped out. I wasn't asking anything yet. Remember I said one has to be the one that speaks. They're saying flirt, romantic feelings. There has to be at least one that reaches out or closes that gap between you both and speaks their mind, speaks about whatever it is. It says fear. That's what you got. You got fear. But listen to what it says. It says, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So don't fear rejection. Don't fear what the outcome will be. Don't fear that that person may think you're silly. No. Live in love. Act in love. Who's going to reject a beautiful, squishy love? Only a fool would do that. Right? I'm seeing things flash across my screen. Lunatic astrology. Yeah, I'm sure. But do you understand what I'm saying? The difference between this set of Libras that are experiencing, or cross watchers that are experiencing twin flames, as opposed to this one. This one is so complicated. This one is convoluted. This one is oy vey kind of energy of, you know, what did I get myself into? This is not what I asked for, Creator. You know, because remember, I'm the angel that fights with God. Like they say in the Bible that the angel fought with God. I'm the daughter that fights with God. Ooh, I'm getting chills. Oh, stop it. I'm the girl that fights with her father. So right now I'm like, I didn't buy in on this. This is not what I asked for. I did not ask to have my twin flame come down and already be married, or to choose a muggle over me. So I get it. I get, you know, the people that are going through this type of twin flame energy. It's, gosh, it's beyond words of sadness that I feel for everyone, because it was sadness that I felt for myself. And for this set, oh my gosh, everything, you're going to see it. Everything's just going to fall into place. It's just going to fall into place. It's going to feel like so effortless. So effortless. And I'm not trying to over romanticize it. I'm not. Because yeah, you're going to have normal everyday issues that arise, like who's going to pay for this, or how is this going to get paid, or what do we do, or do we have a budget, or blah blah blah. Y'all know what life is. But it's going to feel so effortless. And every time you look at your twin flame's eyes, you look into each other's eyes, there's you don't even have to open your mouth. The way you look at each other is just with so much love. There's just so much love. So much love. It's a relationship that you will never regret. It's a relationship that you will never find another like, because there's only one twin flame, because they have a piece of you inside of them. And as I said in my other video, that's why there's a runner and a chaser, and that's why there's a pulling, because you're always constantly having a pulling towards yourself, because that's really what it is your other part of you, not the other half that humans call, oh, this is my better half, or this is my you know, my ball and chain, or whatever they call each other. No, that is your other half. They have half of their soul that's part of you inside of them, and vice versa. Because it takes two parts to become one. And God split them down the middle and put one piece in here and one piece in here. I hope this made sense to you guys, and I hope that this helped in some way. If you're going through a twin flame journey, whether by yourself because it didn't work out this lifetime around, or whether you are just meeting your twin flame, or whether you were one of the fortunate ones that has had the beautiful opportunity to meet your twin flame and they are awake to the journey, and your journey has been so beautiful. If you happen upon this video, and you've had a beautiful, so far, a beautiful journey with your twin flame, won't you please share that with us? Won't you please share the beauty of your relationship so that we can at least partake in congratulating you, and also feeling happy for you that you got to be with your twin flame. You know each other, you recognized each other almost instantly, and you know what it's like. Let me tell you another story, because I always do speak in riddles. I don't know, I guess, and I always tell people to stop speaking in parables like Jesus, but I do it too in the form of my teaching. I think the name of the movie is called Somewhere in Time. Somewhere in Time, or somewhere in Time. Did I say the same thing? It's with what's the name of the man that played Superman? God, can't remember his name right now. It's not coming to me, but he played Superman, and he meets this woman. No, forgive me. He sees this woman in a picture, and it reminded me a lot. Sorry, my allergies. It reminded me a lot of when I went to the Stanley Hotel, you know, where The Shining was supposed to have been filmed. It was a setting like that. And he sees her in a photograph, and all of a sudden he just has this like instant connection and attraction to the woman in the photograph. And so he rents the room that the suite she used to have when she was there. And then it just unfolds from there to where his psyche was so strong, he literally willed himself to somewhere in time where she actually still existed and she actually was still alive. And they just went on from there. The energy of that movie is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The love that you have for your twin flame is so profound that it's undeniable by both parties. Even if they don't know what's going on, like even if they're spooked because they've never felt that intensity with anyone or for anyone, it's undeniable, guys. I mean, so much so that you would traverse time and space to be with your twin flame. That's how profound it is. Look how God works. That my twin flame, I was no longer in India. My family was no longer in India, ancestry-wise. So God brought my twin flame to me. I hope this helps someone out there. It is a strange phenomena, as I have stated before. It's even sometimes so profound that it even freaks me out. And I'm into metaphysics, and I'm a philosopher, and I study things. But it's even overwhelming for me at times. But it's a beautiful experience that I would never give back, no matter the outcome. I would never give it back to God and say, I don't know. I mean, I did utter one time that I wish I would have never met him because it didn't work out. But that's the hurt that was talking. In reality, I would never give that up because I know he's here and that part of me is here. So in a sense, I have to be happy with the fact that the other part of me is here. But for you, my dear friends, my dear lovely Libras and cross watchers, my prayer for you for your twin flame journey is that you not only get to meet your twin flame, but that you get to work it out and build a life with your twin flame on this physical plane this time around, and not have to wait for your next lifetime or incarnation. Much love and light to you, Victoria Violet. Until we meet again, my friends, be safe, be happy.